This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Again on 19 Cats and Counting, aren't we?
We are. Welcome, everybody. Podcast number 2. I'm so excited.
We're becoming pros at this. We could just do this all day long.
We could. Well, we sit and talk all day long anyway. What's the difference?
Let me tell you how Linda and I start our day most days, you know. We'll call each other, either she'll call me or I'll call her, so that we can plan what we're going to get done today. But invariably, we end up talking about how our cats have kept us up all night and how their behaviors have been changing and getting a little more annoying now that we're all in quarantine thanks to COVID-19.
Yes. People are really stuck. And I know everybody's sick of this COVID-19 business, but this is our reality right now. And we're stuck at home. And especially when I work from home anyway. So our cats are pretty used to having us around. But my son is now home since school has been canceled. My 15-year-old son. My husband is home and then not. He is a banker, so it stayed open, but he can work from home and the lobby's closed, so he's been home more often than not. So we're getting all this time. We've disrupted the cat schedule as well as ours.
Oh, yeah, and I work from home anyway, too. But, you know, usually I'm off. I'll visit my parents. I'll have, you know, lunch with my friend Rita. I'll go to the grocery store. I haven't done any of those things, and my cats are looking at me like, why are you sitting on my sofa all day? Right?
Yes.
My sofa. Because, you know, especially Brownie. I have a shy feral cat, Brownie. And I tend to be more of a night owl. Well, my schedule's all messed up. So I've been, like last night I was up working on the website till 3 a.m. And she comes down, you know, she and the other shy cat, Picasso, like to sleep on my sofa when I go to bed. She comes down and she's looking at me through the bars on the stairs. Why are you there? I can just hear it in her voice, you know, I can hear her little kitty voice. Why are you there?
Yes, because if you go over and sit there, she can't lay there because she's too shy. So she's waiting for you to move your buns so she can have your nice warm spot that smells like mom.
She goes up and down the stairs because, like, you know, half hour later, I'll see her coming downstairs again. I'm like, didn't you just come down the stairs? Oh, you must have gone back up. And then, you know, I'll finally go to bed with the other cats because they want me to come sleep with them in the bed. And I may like forget, I want to get a glass of water or something. And I'll walk by and there they are right up on it must be like the minute I leave the room, they're downstairs on that sofa.
Yes, that's their spot.
I know Brian, he's home now more, working home at more. And I know he was a little concerned because of the cats sleeping a lot.
Yes, he told me, have you know, Kizzy's really sleeping a lot. Like he was concerned she was sick or he was sick, excuse me. I often mess up my gender pronouns with my cats when I have 8. Keeping track of who's a girl and who's a boy is not my top priority. But anyway, I said he's always slept that much, honey. Rita says cats sleep, what is it, an average of 16 hours a day?
16 to 18 hours a day. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a lot. Oh, to be a cat.
I know. I want to come back as a well-fed, spoiled cat. So I have to come back as one of my own. That's kind of impossible.
Yeah, right. I have often said I'd like to come back as one of your cats. I don't actually believe in reincarnation, but if I could, I would love to be one of your cats because your cats have it made, boy, let me tell you.
They do, but you know, even on Facebook, I've had people ask me, you know, is my cat sick? He's sleeping all the time. Yeah, you just weren't home to see it before. You know, you weren't home to see what their routine is before, and you've disrupted their routine. So, you know, I've had people say to me, my cat, he's just like following me everywhere I go in the house. Yeah, he's like, why are you here and wondering what you're doing?
Yes, what's going on? What's different? What's changed? So one of the things that you taught me that I love is you do everything from the cat's perspective. What is the cat saying? What is the cat trying to get out of this? What is the cat saying? Everything is, you know, become the cat. I am the cat.
Become one with the cat. Well, I kind of have to. I'm outnumbered.
Good luck with that. Yeah. You're just one of the cats. You're the 20th cat. But one of the things you taught me, and I love a good acronym because it helps me remember things, was PEGS.
Yeah.
And, you know, that in nature, cats will hunt for their prey. So in the home, they still have that need. No, we're not going to send them out hunting, but we can play with them, play with something play with one of the fishing toys are the best. And then eventually they catch it and they've fulfilled that need.
Right.
And
They
then
mimic the hunt by doing that.
yes. And then E would be eat, because after they've hunted and got their prey, they eat it right away, make sure
Right.
that there's no trace left for anyone else to smell. So at that point, you feed them. Then they will G, groom, and S, sleep. So you play and then feed them. They'll take over from there. And setting that routine in the morning and at night helps them to have a routine so that if you're going back to work, you can continue that before you go to work. You play with them, feed them, and let them go do their thing while you're at work. And in the evening, if you do it, it helps you get sleep.
Yeah,
You do it right before.
a lot of people say to me, "Why do my cats wake me up at 3 a.m.?" Because you're a captive audience. They've been bored all day waiting for you to get home. You're finally laying still so they can try to play with you. That's not what you want, but they've got all this pent up energy to expend that normally, out in nature they'd be spending that energy hunting.
Yes. And
Yeah.
that's one of the hardest parts for me. When a cat, like, I roll over and I feel super and I just pet her a little. Well, then she wants petted again. And then she's sticking her nose under my hand to like force me to pet her. And I'm petting the cat at 4 a.m. going, I want to sleep. No, let's just go to sleep now. And I know I did it. You taught me that. It's my own fault.
Uh-huh.
But she's so soft.
Well,
She's
I
like
know.
silk.
I know. I did it with my sweetie pie. I couldn't help it. I love that kitten so much. She's
Oh,
she's not quite she's just not quite 9 months old now. She's still tiny, but if she jumps on me at 4 a.m., I'm like, "Oh, sweetie pie, what are you doing?" Anybody else does it, I'm like, "Go to sleep."
exactly. Go to sleep. Yes. I've
Sweetie
heard you
pie
do
gets
that
away
and
with
going.
it.
Well, yeah, you just can't help it. It's comforting to roll over and have her there and be like, oh, Soobs, and pet her, and oh, she's so soft.
It's just you have
Oh,
to be aware that that's what you're doing and accept the consequences if you're going to do that.
and
My friend
exactly. If she
Iris
continues
said,
that, I can't get mad. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt you. It's hard because we're both
Right.
trying to talk at once here.
Right?
But my
Tell me about your friend.
Iris that I used to do the radio show with Richard, she would tell me her cats would wake her up at 3, 4 in the morning for petting. She's not getting any sleep. And I told her, well, just don't do. You have to ignore them. Put them on the floor and ignore them. She's like, but I can't do that. I said, well, then as long as you're willing to accept the consequences that you're reinforcing that behavior, it's not going to stop. That's fine. If that's what you want, then it's not a problem. And that's what she wanted, so it wasn't really a problem. I mean, yeah, she
Yeah.
missed her sleep, but that was a trade-off she was willing to have.
Yeah, as soon as I pet Zuber, I know I'm starting when she nuzzles my hand and then tries to get me to pet her more. I can't get mad at her. I'm the one who started it. It's all my fault.
So, like, I'm having issues with my 3-legged tripod, Smoochie, because she already was very attached to me. But now that I'm home all the time, she sits so close to me on the sofa, Linda, that literally she ends up under my butt more times than not. Literally up under the side of my butt. I can't move, right? And then Gigi, my other one who likes to have me all to herself, she'll decide to jump up on the other side. And Gigi's a big girl, okay?
Yeah.
So then I'm on the sofa and I can't move. I'm like stuck there. I'm wondering, what's going to happen to them when I go back to work? So that's why I started coming up to my office and shutting the door for a couple hours a day so that they get a little break from me. And I think that's what people working at home now need to do so that when they go back to work, their cats aren't going to go through separation anxiety issues because suddenly they're not there.
Yes, that's a great idea. Well, and I hate treading in this again, but to be clear, I would like, since we're discussing COVID, there has been, one cat in Belgium and 2 in the States. I don't remember where.
It's that awful. I don't remember where either because it really doesn't matter.
Right? Yes, right. So they were in the States somewhere. Anyway, some cats have tested positive, but the information that we have is that all of these cats that got it, their cat mom and dad, their zookeeper, whomever.
Yeah, the tigers, it was the zookeeper.
Gave it, yes. And the house cats, their owners. I don't like the word owners. They're cat parents. Their cat parents got it first and gave it to them. And there has been no incidence of it going the other way around. And this has been the source of much contention But the fact is that there are people who, upon hearing that the cats can get it, have dumped their cats.
Right.
And
And they
we
can't.
want to be clear. Yes. And we want to be absolutely clear. If your cat's got it, it's because you or someone gave it to them. And this is not the time to dump them unless they are immunocompromised or something's really wrong with them. They've got another underlying condition. They'll probably have a little respiratory thing, need some antibiotics or antivirals or whatever, and they'll be fine. And they cannot give it to humans. So we do not need to be dumping our
No.
babies out of fear.
Yeah, for
So,
some
yeah.
reason, they don't get it to the same degree we do. They get over it. A couple
Yes.
dogs also got it, and some tigers in the zoos because they
Yes.
got it from their zookeeper. One of the
Yes.
dogs died in Hong Kong, but that dog was 17, and their owner refused autopsy. But the
So we don't know what
CDC
did it.
and the Veterinarian Association, all of them say that we can pass it to them, but they can't pass it back to a human.
Yes. Yes. So no need to panic and
No.
dump our poor babies in the shelters, which are already really experiencing problems because adoptions are down.
Sure.
And on that note, this is a good time. You're home. Have you been considering adopting? This is the time to look around. There are some shelters that are closed, but the majority of them are having, like, they'll have online pictures and descriptions, and then you
Right.
can call and discuss with someone. I know Friends of Felines here in Defiance, Ohio. They have a kitty cam, which is amazing. And
Yeah,
there's
I
a
love
cat
that.
there that there's a cat there I really want. Don't tell my husband.
Oh, number 9 coming along.
Every time I see this cat, I'm like, I need you.
I
Anyway,
can't
but
look. I
then,
can't look.
oh, it's awful. This cat has got me like, oh, anyway. And then Jackie, who owns and runs the rescue, instead of you coming into the main area with all of the cats, she meets the potential adopter in a separate room to discuss and hand over the cat if the adoption goes through. So there are still ways to adopt. It's not my favorite. My way is to be in the middle of all the cats and see who picks me. But desperate times, desperate measures.
Well,
So,
the
and
other thing they're desperate for is
yeah.
kitten fosters because it's kitten season right now. And there's
Ugh.
batches of kittens coming in, and I know SSK here, Saving Southern Kitties, they're always looking for people who can take in those kittens and foster them until they can find a permanent home. That's the hardest thing. I can't do it. I know people do it, and it's definitely needed. They need some place to put these kittens until they find their forever homes.
I would love to do it. I think it would be
can't do it.
so much fun to have kittens that you can't keep, but I wouldn't be able to give them away.
Why do you think I have 19? I took in a I took in a brother sister, Pinky and Boo Boo.
I was gonna say, aren't some of your cats technically fosters from
Yeah.
years ago?
Yeah. Pinky and Boo Boo. And then Peanut came a week later. So the 3 of them were raised together. That was 11 years ago. They're still here. And then 10 years ago, the quads, the Feral 4, came along. That is Lovey, Cupcake, Brownie, and Dash. 10 years later, they're still here. Sunny and Bucci are brother and sister. So I have quite a few pairs that, they were never meant. They were never going anywhere, those two. But the others were supposed to be temporary. But here's the thing. Once they cross my threshold, right, and they start getting along with each other, and their behavioral problems go away, and they love each other, and they're bonded to me, why am I going to rip them out of my home
Right.
and make them go through that again? It's not like I was taking in happy kittens who are just like, yeah, I don't know, where am I going, and are happy to go anywhere. The ones I took in were usually neglected or way too young to be away from their moms or had some other kind of problem.
Well, and if they're, you think if they're way too young to be away from their mom, then you definitely, not that you're a mom to all your babies, because I know from personal experience, but especially when you take a newborn in like that, you are their mom. And I just can't imagine. It's heartbreaking to me to think to give them away. Or an abused cat, like your beloved Rosie. I mean, Rosie was so skittish. I will never forget the first time I walked into your apartment. And Rosie had just stopped hiding in the litter box she was hiding in the bathroom.
Yeah. She was hiding in the Buddha Dome litter box. Yeah.
Oh, she looked at me and sheer terror and panic on her. I mean, I could have cried. I could cry just talking about it.
She was, we think, about 2 years old when I got her. We're not really sure. She was an adult.
In how many homes? How many
She
homes has she been in?
she was in her third. She was on her way back to the shelter, and the
Oh,
last lady who took her to prevent her from going to the shelter because third time in the shelter, adult cat. We all know where that
yes.
was going to end up.
Yes.
But the problem is this lady. She really wasn't prepared to have a cat. She had two dogs and two-year-old toddler children who were just terrorizing Rosie. So she was looking for
Oh,
someone to take Rosie, and there was just something about her. It wasn't even a great picture on Facebook. I found out about her through, the network of rescue people here in Lancaster, South Carolina, where I
right.
am. There's something about her eyes. She just looked so like, help me. I
Oh,
had to go meet her. And it took quite a while for her to stop hiding in that Buddha Dome litter box. Then from there, she went to the bathroom. I had that master bedroom bathroom in that apartment was the
yes.
cat's room and their bathroom, and that walk-in closet was their litter. So then she went from finally after probably about a month, she went to the cat tree and my desk in the
Mm,
office. And that's pretty much where she stayed until we bought this house, Linda. This house is
crazy.
magic. Something about
It
her
is.
coming here. As soon as she came down the stairs, because I started them all off upstairs in the bonus room, all her inhibitions just went away. And she gets on the floor with the other cats. She'll smack at them if she doesn't want them near her. But she'll play with some
Right.
of them. She loves to be on the counter in the kitchen, and she
Aw.
likes for me to hug her. And it's not just that I
Yes.
hug her, she hugs me back. She puts her
Yes.
head on my shoulder, and it's just, I just can't even explain the
I,
feeling of this cat has no more fear. I mean, you've been here.
yeah.
She actually
Yeah.
came when you were here and sat right at your
Yeah.
feet in front of the sofa.
Yes.
She doesn't sit
Which
there
is
now,
that was
only when you're
unheard
here.
of. Do you know how wonderful that made me feel though? And I once in the kitchen, she let me hug her. And
Yeah.
I felt like I'd won the lottery, when you're trying to make up to, it's like when you're trying to woo a toddler, and get in there scared of you, and then you finally win them over and they give you a hug.
Yeah.
I remember the
It's
first time my grandson Oe is much stingier with his hugs than his brother James. And the first time Oe purposely chose to give me a hug,
oh, that just means the
hallelujah,
world.
you know.
Yeah.
Yes, angels. I heard angels singing. There's like
Uh,
fairy dust. I don't know. It was a magical moment. Those kids. I have not seen them in a while because of COVID, but
I know.
those kids. But yeah, that's what it felt like when Rosie, especially after the first time
Yeah.
when I scared her so. Oh,
I have to
it
get
was
up and
magic.
go to Rosie. She doesn't come and sit at my feet. She comes and sits at Linda's feet.
Na, na,
Just
na, na,
saying.
na.
No, actually, what
I
that means is all of her fear is gone. But after
yeah.
working so hard to get her through that, you think I was going to let her go to someone else's home? No.
Right? Oh, no
Put her through
and
that
what would that do?
trauma.
That would set her back. I mean, I really believe that that's what she thought when I entered your home because,
Yeah, I
you
do
really
too.
didn't have visitors. And I come in and oh crap, I'm moving again. Oh no,
Uh huh.
the terror in her face broke like I really wanted to just curl up
I
and die.
know.
Like I was I'm so sorry. And I knew on one hand it was good for her to see that people will come and people will go and she's still safe with you. But putting her through that,
Well, that's why you didn't stay with me. That's why we put you up in a hotel because it was going to
exactly. Oh, it
traumatize
was
her too much.
oh, it was I just yeah, I would have never entered your apartment again after that. I just couldn't do that to her. Oh, it was awful. It was terrible. But now she loves me and it just when you win over a cat like that and earn their trust and yeah, I can't even imagine what that would do to her. Would you do that to a child? Well, look at the
No.
children who are bounced around the foster system from home to home to home to home. It does
Yeah. What does it do to
damage.
them? It scars them.
Yes, it's that damage and that lack of ability to trust. I trusted her. I finally trusted her and thought she loved me, and she gave me away again.
Wasn't that why
It's
Jackie, after if a cat's been returned like twice, she keeps it. She doesn't try to
yeah,
rehome it again.
yes, exactly. Then that cat
Same
will live, and
reason.
she is such an amazing. I mean, really, her center. If someone was going to open a center, a rescue, I would say go. I mean, her model just blows me away in what she does for these babies. I mean, from morning till night, I have the
No.
utmost respect for Jackie in the world. And yeah, she'll just, if a cat's got too severe of a medical problem, doesn't think someone will be able to handle it. If the cat is very old, why put them through rehoming them again when they're a
Sure.
senior? that sort of thing. And yeah, if a cat's been returned a couple times, it's an FFRC resident from here on in.
Yeah.
And that's why COVID has been so bad too, because you don't think about it. I didn't think about it until I got associated with her rescue, that they have a limit as to how many they can have.
Yeah.
So, I said to her once when I rescued one, I took 6 cats out of FFRC and found them a home, and the first one, I said, I feel kind of bad. This is not like a hardship. They're not on death row. And she said, yeah, but for everyone, I've seen people come and say, I have this cat, and her have to turn them away and say we're too full. So every cat I take out means another cat that can come into this amazing place. So
it's harder to go to a shelter because it's not no kill, although that's really where they need to be adopted from. But if you adopt from a rescue, that means they can take some in from the shelters,
Exactly. And that I thought, this cat is not on death row. Should I have gone somewhere else? But no, because I'm allowing another cat to come in and have that amazing experience. Yes. Yes.
I was supposed to be there last week so we could do some, filming from FFRC. So since I couldn't do that, we're having this special for April, May, and June that when you join Club Catitude at ritareimers.com, so you can get personalized cat behavior help. The first month is only $1, and that $1 is going towards the FFRC rescue. The next quarter we'll choose another rescue. So always your first month is $1 at ritareimers.com. I don't do my $400 sessions anymore. I wanted to be able to reach more people and help more people. So my home is now our clubhouse, and you can get my help and access to me and Linda and Nikki and Sebastian, who also work for us. They're also a multi-cat household, 6 cats. Is that right?
Yeah. 5, I believe. Yes, 5.
5
So
now.
yes, they were up there a little bigger for a while there though, but when they moved, they downsized. And when they moved, as I said, they had this one cat who I renamed. They named him Deadpool. I renamed him Harry Houdini because he's an escape artist.
Right.
He can find a way out of a home. Oh, what this cat has put us through. And so my home has a little breezeway or porch in between. You open the first door and then there's a little breezeway or porch, and then the second door, both my back door and my front door. And they moved to this small apartment, one door, not even, a screen in a door, but a door. And you open it, and believe me, that cat would have gotten out. And they were kind of on a busy intersection, and they were just petrified. They said, he will find a way out, and I'm afraid he'll get hit by a car. So we adopted him, and he's managed to cause a lot of havoc.
Well, Paul's needed a buddy. Paul's needed a buddy.
Yes. He is Paul's brother. Well, that's what happened was Nikki and Sebastian got married, and Nikki had 2 cats, but Sebastian decided he wanted them to adopt a child of their own, right? Every newly married couple wants to start their own family.
Of course.
So he wanted one kitten, and Nikki was coming up on her 1-year anniversary of working for the company, and Rita said, I will pay for the cat's adoption, spay and neuter, whatever's involved in getting the cat for you as a gift.
I forgot I did that.
Yes. You are the reason I have 2 cats that are, well, actually, you're the reason for 4. But anyway, she said, but you have to take 2. Kittens need another kitten to play. Okay. So since I had the corporate card, I had to go down there and pay for it. And I said, I am not going back. I'm not looking at cats. I'm going to come in.
You went to the shelter, right?
Yeah. Yes, not FFRC, to the shelter, because at this point they were living practically across the street from the shelter. I said, I will plop the card down, I will sign my name, and I will exit. Do not, Mom, you got a seat. No, not happening. Not looking at a cat. So they come out and they said, oh, you're taking, I don't remember what their names were in the shelter, but these 2 cats. And she said, you can't just take 2. There are 3. There are 3 kittens. And if you take the 2 little, I think the last one's name was Sobo or something, we'll be all alone. And I said, where's their mom? Oh, she's in another room nursing some cats, the kittens that came in that were too young to be weaned that needed a wet nurse. So yeah, basically, if I didn't take this 3rd cat, and I'm like, not taking it. So she comes out with not 2, but 3 cats, knowing that I can't look at this kitten and then walk out the door.
She saw the word sucker written on your forehead.
Oh, she did. Well, I had I had a shirt on with a cat's butt that says neuter is cuter. Nikki hates that shirt. I think it's the cutest thing ever. Then I explained to her that I worked for cat behaviorist Rita Reimers, who writes for Catster, blah, blah, blah. So she decided that, no check was
You're a
necessary.
soft touch. Yep.
I was going to take all the cats in the shelter. So yeah, she comes out with the 3. So I take a
We
picture.
have 3.
I took a picture with the 3rd kitten, sent it to my husband, no caption, just a picture of me with this kitten and this look on my face, and he writes back, what? Just one more. So God bless him. He's a softie and he loves me. So that's how we got the 3rd. And then with that one of the brothers that was the escape artist. So now I have 2 of the 3.
You know what I always say though? One more, all they do is they just eat the scraps that you'd end up throwing away because the cats never finish their bowls.
This is true.
What's
This is true.
more?
Yeah, you're right. One more poop to scoop, whatever.
When the one more gets you up to 19, you're opening a lot more than one extra can, right?
Yes, exactly. One more. Well, and the biggest thing I think people need to remember and keep account of, and honestly, this is the reason I don't have more, because I'm such a sucker and I really want that cat at FFRC. Anyway, but I have to consider, if one of my cats was to get seriously ill, if 2 of my cats was to get seriously ill, the vet costs that come with that and keeping up with that stuff.
Yeah.
There's an expense to that. And I have to realize who I can take care of reasonably without getting into a situation where I'm going to be neglectful accidentally to one of my babies.
Right. And, this probably is a topic for a future podcast too, is veterinary care for your cats. They do need to go to the vet once a year at least.
Yes.
Yes. And it's hard to get your cats to the vet. It's hard to get them in the carrier. There's ways around that too. But there's also home vets. But they really do need, especially as they get older and, cats start having the same type of issues that older humans get. They get diabetes.
Exactly.
They can get all kinds of issues, thyroid problems.
I know in doing pet sitting, how many people wrote in that said, my cat needs subcutaneous fluids, my cat needs insulin, there's a lot of asthma inhalers. I never heard of it until this. And then all of a sudden, there's all these clients that need asthma inhalers for their cats.
Yeah, that used to be unheard of. But that used to be unheard of. In the last 10 years, the need for asthma inhalers for cats has skyrocketed. And I really don't know why. Maybe the fact that we were predominantly in Los Angeles and the smog in LA, that could be part of it.
Very well could be. Yes, air pollution and air quality is not what it should be. Yes. So
I don't believe we had one in the Carolinas that was asthma, and very few insulin, but we had a lot of that in LA.
Yes. Well, and I think veterinary medicine, like all medicine, has come a long way, and we're learning how to handle things. I know I had an FIV positive cat years ago, and when it was discovered, they told me, this was long before I knew you. I don't even think I was working for Richard yet at the time. I might have been, but they declared that this was a horrible, deadly disease. It was like AIDS for cats, and I had to put the cat down, and I was destroyed over that cat. And now I have an FIV cat, and I know as long as your cats are inoculated, they can't catch it. He's fine. He does have a little bit of a cough once in a while. His immune system is not as great as it should be. So we have to keep an eye on him, but we haven't had any problem. Teeth are our biggest problem.
Yeah.
Yes, he's lost better than half of his teeth now, but because of it, his lip catches and he looks like Elvis every once in a while. So it's actually kind of cute. But
he has a good quality of life, and not too many years ago, a cat like that wouldn't have been given a chance at life.
Exactly. Yes. And people are hesitant to adopt or want to put them away and seclude them from the other cats. As long as your cats are inoculated, they cannot catch it. It's just not worth, and this cat, Kismet, has turned out to be, he's such a lover. He's just, so, and the purr motor starts the second you look at him. It's like, in anticipation of the love you're about to give me.
We're at 30 minutes, so we're probably going to have to cut it.
Yes.
We need to do a show about adoption stories. I would love to do a call-in show and have some people share their stories too.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
That is an awesome idea. Yes, let's do that. Yeah, even just between us, we have a lot of stories, and I love hearing stories of how people got their cats and what they've been through, and where they got them, and
So remember, though, I guess this topic was mostly about COVID, although we've kind of digressed a little bit. So just remember to, shut yourself in your office for part of the day. Make sure your cats have a routine and structure following pegs: pray, play, eat, groom, sleep, morning and evening, so that when you go back to work, things won't be such a shock for them. And visit RitaReimers.com, join Club Catitude, and you can talk to me and Linda, Nikki, Sebastian, and all the other members as much as you want, and we'll help you out with your cat problems.
We'll have chats based on specific topics. If they're coming up a lot, we'll have chats based on that, and you can talk right to Rita. And don't even think of it as paying $1. It's you get a month for free, and you give a donation of $1 to Friends of Felines Rescue Center. So that's a deal. Who can turn that down?
I couldn't turn it down.
Right.
Sign me up.
I'm in there. Yeah. Well, you're already in there, honey.
Oh,
did you forget?
Right. I forgot, Gracie. Oh,
I forgot.
Next, one of these times we'll introduce Gracie and Esta, but we will end on that mysterious note.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
Thanks for joining.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.